Okay, hello everyone. My name is Andres Diaz. Today, in the Marvel Spoiler Talk, we're talking about episode 6 of WandaVision, which is called, what's the title here? All New Halloween Spooktacular.
hmm
Wow, very 90s, I will say. And today I'm here with my host, Will. Hello.
Hi, Andres. Yeah, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. This, I, man, Will, we got, what, 3 more episodes.
Yeah,
And
after this one.
yeah, and this is episode 6. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Uh, well, let's start overall thoughts. What do you think about this episode, Will?
Yeah, I thought it was a lot of fun. I really liked having more Pietro. Uh,
Yes.
yeah, I know. I'm sure you did. Um,
Yeah.
but
uh,
yeah, it's I loved everything going on with the Vision and him like
mm,
questioning the reality more and trying to break free and stop whatever's going on. Um, yeah, I feel like it still like raised some questions about who's like actually behind all of it. Yeah, it
mm,
was really interesting.
yeah. Yeah. This episode was pretty like it was pretty good. I was surprised with some of the choices, and yeah, I was very excited to see Evan Pierce back and playing the this this alternate version of Pedro in the
hmm
Marvel Cinematic Universe,
Yeah.
and and you know like right at the bat, I really like how they brought in some of the Sokovia like culture and heritage in this episode and
hmm
explain why Wanda is wearing her comic book accurate costume in
Right.
Halloween. Like it's like what was it like a Sokovia witch or
Sokovian fortune teller.
exactly a fortune
Right.
teller, yeah, and that was very cool. I love that.
Yeah.
Uh, and
I
I
like.
wasn't. I don't know you had this, but I wasn't expecting Quicksilver's costume. I was. Oh
No. Yeah, that was a surprise.
yes, I was.
Funny.
Yeah, I was surprised with the. I that just bring it just put a smile on my face. This episode. um, but yeah, there were like um this episode just did a good job of bringing the humor, bringing in the dark and like very cerebral moments,
hmm
particularly with Vision and and of course the outside of the reality bubble with Sword and like wow, just
hmm
and and I don't know you have this, but like my favorite character now is Jimmy Woo and Darcy now because
Really.
yeah, this
Uh,
episode made me like them more.
yeah. I've been liking them. Yeah. But
Yeah.
what specifically has made them your favorite after this episode?
Um. I mean, so for Jimmy Woo, I like how he's like serious, but like he can at least can crack jokes in
hmm
like in appropriate times. Like he doesn't have the problem with a lot of people have with the MCU humor. Like his humor is right on point. I like how serious he is in the moments it needs to be. So like I like how he was trying to defend Rumble and Darcy when they go into the tent with the monitors after they encounter Scarlet Witch outside.
hmm Yeah.
And I really like how that, and then I like how he lightweight knocks off the sword guards that were taking them out of the facility.
Uh huh.
And so that moment I was like, oh wow, this is cool. And I like how they didn't address like, oh, he now is a badass or something like that. Like I was happy they didn't do that. And I like it
Right.
was
Yeah.
just okay, he's an FBI
That they
agent.
just let him. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so I was very happy. And then Darcy, um, and very quickly and let you talk. And with Darcy, I like how she wanted to stay behind and just discover what is really going on. Like, why is director what's his name?
Director Hayward.
Hayward. Thank you. Such a weird name. My God, Hayward. Director Hayward. Um, is like so paranoid, and his scene was very interesting, like learning like the 5 year gap of, you know, with the snap has affected everyone that survived, like traumatized and psychologically scarred
Hmm.
of, you know, what Thanos did in Infinity War. So like that was very interesting. And and we can speculate, is this uh, you know, is Marvel Studios getting the mutants already from this show, like putting them in this reality, like all that we'll discuss later on. But it's, I wonder what's Hayward's end game, basically, like what's,
Yeah, yeah. I was also starting to question what his plan was during this episode.
yeah. And I
Yeah,
love this episode. um
mhm,
yeah.
yeah.
What were you gonna say, Will? Sorry.
I
Cut.
just I suspect that his main focus is on like getting Vision's body back,
Mm-hmm.
because Sword is all about what did they, it was
um
what did Sword stand for again
oh
in this universe?
in this universe, so
Uh,
it
Sentient
was,
weapons, right?
yes.
Yeah. So Vision is a sentient weapon. I think he just wants that back. He doesn't really care
Mm,
like
okay.
about what it takes to get that back. Like
Okay.
he's fine killing Wanda because he has this like bias against um, superpowered people.
Mm, which is interesting because if if like how ironic that Evan Pierce Quicksilver is in this, and he's from the Fox X movies, where like his Hayward is almost like the poor version of Senator Kelly, or you know, some of the human villains of the X-Men, about how they,
Yeah.
you know, like like discriminate the mutants because how
Right.
different they are. So you can look at this way as like a early setup of that universe of what you know about the mutants and the X-Men.
Hmm.
So, oh, and the agreement for Sword in this show is the sedative weapon of certain response division.
Right.
Yeah, that's what it's called. Well,
Okay.
um,
Thank you.
no problem. I was curious. Well,
Yeah.
that's interesting theory. I I guess he was going to use a weapon, or he wants to use both Vision and Scarlet Witch as weapons. You know,
Yeah.
so
It's possible he wants both.
yeah. I
Um,
mean,
he seems very willing to kill Wanda.
yeah, which is stupid. And
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I mean,
It's not a
especially,
great plan.
no, not a great plan. And I um yeah, I'm just curious what his end game is. I like your theory, Will, about him probably just wants to use Vision as a weapon, and like I, you know, right now it's not like why. I'm asking why he wants to do it. That's like the question I want to be answered, and hopefully next episode we'll get that. Um, but yeah, I then so we got the twins. And by the way, uh, seeing what do you think about this opening of the, you know, the WandaVision sitcom for the '90s?
Yeah. I think it was the 90s and the early 2000s because it was
Yes,
definitely Malcolm in the Middle,
Sacramento. Yep.
which I watched a lot as a teenager. So um, yeah, I would watch reruns like every day when I got back from school.
Oh wow.
Um, so yeah, it was tons of nostalgia for the
Yeah.
old Malcolm in the Middle theme
Oh my
by
god.
They Might Be Giants. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
Um,
Mhm. I'm just laughing. It's funny how they're referencing that, and Brian Cranston was in that,
mhm.
and he co-starred with Elizabeth Olsen and Godzilla.
Yeah, he did
Yeah,
with Aaron Taylor Johnson too.
it's exactly. Oh my god. Oh yeah. I love that the kids got their moment to shine in this episode.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and
I really liked that their Halloween costumes were their superhero costumes.
yes, who was it? I think it was Tommy. I recognized his costume right away. Like when he was wearing the headband and the red cape. I
Yeah,
was
Wiccan. Yeah.
yes. And so I was like, oh my god, that's cool. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that was very cool. And um, yeah, yeah. The kids were interesting. I was surprised we gave them powers. I was like,
hmm
oh wow, we're going to that direction.
Already, yeah.
Yeah.
It makes sense though.
Yes. Yeah. Um, yeah. It was interesting. Especially I loved the moments when they were with. I I love the funny part when of course Quicksilver, Pedro, and then
Mhm.
Peters tell Wanda, oh no worry, I'll take the kids, trick or treating, and then the fact that they were just stealing the candy and vandalizing. That was my
Yeah,
favorite moment, especially when one of those patrolmen she was talking to was like,
yeah.
that was so funny. Oh my god, oh my god, and man, Evan Peters is great in this episode.
hmm
Let's kind of talk about a little bit of him, and I was kind of like, I love they had chemistry. They feel like a brother and sister, and um I love how he interacts with the kids. I love how they use. I like how he moves in this universe. It's like a combination of what the Fox did with his character and mixing what Age of Ultron did for Aaron
Yeah,
Taylor's version.
yeah.
So I like
I'm.
this way of moving. It's
I
super
think.
sweet.
Yeah, I think this will be specific to the like sitcom universe. I'm
Yes,
I'm
yes,
curious what it'll look like um, outside of the bubble or outside of the
yeah,
hex um, if we see it outside.
yeah. Um, yeah. It's. I mean, like if they do the twist where he, like either he's a Westwood, resident as you say before, Will, last week,
hmm
or my theory is he's from the Fox universe. It'll be crazy for them to just do like another scene that's the kitchen from Days of Future Past, and that will be like that will make me so happy
hmm
and cry in the show. Um, but and we also got like a very surreal moment, just like in episode 3 when we saw the dead body of Vision. We saw that with Quicksilver, and
Yeah, that was
like, whoa, like
it's unsettling. Yeah.
yeah, it was very unsettling, and I like, um, I I'm very happy we got Quicksilver back in this universe, and so I'm happy we're addressing the brother and sister relationship
Yeah.
finally,
Yeah.
and and it's very interesting. They're taking this, and I like they're taking the advantage of using the reality. Like, is this real or not? Like, is Evan Pierce real or not in this
hmm
moment? We don't know, and I kind of like how they're doing it. And so, you know, and but then at the same time, not being disrespectful of what Eric Taylor did in
hmm
Age of Ultron. Like, I mean, his bullets are the same, you know, same like precision from Age of Ultron, but also
Yeah.
we got footage from Age of Ultron in the beginning of the episode when they do the recaps. So
Right.
so I like we're not forgetting about that version, and so I think your theory of him being like a Red resonate is possibly real,
Yeah.
in
It's
this
either
moment.
that or he's just something else
Oh yeah,
entirely. Like,
yeah. It was interesting. He was like almost like I don't know. He had this one when we get the dead body Quicksilver. He was like questioning Wanda how she did it.
right.
Like what
He's
was
giving me the same vibes that like Agnes gives when she questions her a lot, you know?
yeah,
Um, and he like showed up when Wanda wasn't expecting him to. I think he's connected to whatever Agnes is connected to.
Yeah.
There was also a moment where Wiccan was like doing his like turn to camera, like breaking the fourth wall thing,
Yes.
and I noticed that Pietro like stopped playing video games and like looked at Wiccan while he was doing that, like you could hear him.
Oh, yes. I saw that. Yeah, I remember
Yeah,
that.
I yeah, it definitely feels like something's up there. And he like when Wanda was testing him and like trying to get him to remember the name of that kid from their orphanage, and
Mm,
he just like dodged the question. I
right.
like I'm not convinced that it's actually like any version of Pietro now.
No, no. Um, yeah, and it's oh man, like yeah, I'm just very intrigued what's going on. It could be like an astral projection of Pedro that Wanda's doing, or the main villain of the show. And speaking of that, like, what do you what do you feel about Agnes? Like, is she a villain or not? Like, I'm I
I don't know. This episode made me question that a little bit.
yeah,
But she was able to speak to Vision like before he did anything, which was different from the other residents that he encountered.
yes, like
But
last episode with Norm, right, when he unfrees him from
oh yeah,
yeah, yeah,
like even before he did that, like when he was walking to the edge of town, none
yes,
of the people would like respond to him or recognize it. But when he got to Agnes, she actually like asked him a question.
yes,
Uh,
that was
she was a little more awake than everyone else.
yeah, I yeah, it like she has to work with someone much higher power that
Yeah,
she's
probably
like
just like a hench person
yeah,
if
or a
she's evil. Yeah,
henchwoman.
yeah,
Yeah, and by the way, her Catherine Hannah performance in this
yeah,
was the
yes.
best, and
It was very
it
good.
it really hooked me in to Vision's arc in this episode. And by the
Mhm.
way, Vision is amazing in this show, and there's no like I haven't I there's not enough to praise for Paul Bettany and his acting, but this
Mhm.
episode really showed his acting chops, and the last moments of this episode really show how desperate Vision is trying to find out what's going on, and
Yeah,
it's like and it's just like wow, um, yeah, and I don't know, like I, I wonder if this is going to connect to Doctor Strange too, and the villain that's going to be that.
it's possible. Yeah,
Yeah, because we know she's going to be there, and and also by the way, like we don't know who's the villain for Doctor Strange 2 either. Like
right,
everyone's been speculating that's Nightmare, but like
right.
I, I cannot see that. Or I mean,
Yeah, I remember like a while ago, like years ago,
mhm,
Scott Derrickson had been like talking about how much he liked Nightmare back when he was
yes,
still working on Doctor Strange 2. So I think
yes,
that's where that's coming from.
yeah,
Um,
um,
but there's no like concrete
concrete
evidence.
evidence, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, yeah, it's tough, and but hey, that's a good thing about speculation. We can just speculate who's the main villain of this show, and I'm happy that this show doesn't go into like the CW Arrowverse or like some of the old Marvel shows. Like we don't have a clear cut villain in this
Right.
series. I kind
Yeah.
of like it's a gray area. I like that.
Yeah. There's a lot of mystery. It's like it's not like you're totally cheering for Wanda because she's doing a lot of like really terrible things. Yeah, it's really interesting.
Yeah. And yeah, I think that's a good thing. And same thing with director Hayward. Like I get why he's doing
Mhm.
this. Like
Yeah.
there's like at least a motive I can go by with him, but I don't excuse his actions what he's doing. And I guess let's kind of get into Monica. I kind of
Hmm.
like how there was like they just threw like plot points that's like important to either the future or like right now of the show. It
Hmm.
was interesting to hear Darcy mention that she went twice into that Rugby bubble.
Well,
Or
she went through the barrier
yeah,
twice. Like
yeah.
she went in and she went out.
Thank you, like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's interesting. Like it affected her blood, and like now we got a confirmation that's like she's gonna get her powers after the
Right.
show, and so that was good. And and then of course we got another like Captain Marvel name drop and how she like he like Sword knows that they know that the connection of Captain Marvel, so that was a neat like confirmation that Monica is probably still in touch with her
Hmm.
still. Um, um, okay, so let's talk about Wanda here. What do you think about Wanda in this episode?
I, oh man, it's like it's interesting how okay she is with knowing that like all of the people in the town are tortured.
Yes, that's
Um,
that is scary. It was, I yeah. Um, I mean, I, I mean, again, they probably go into just she's trying like she thinks she's doing the probably the right thing for them. Maybe
right.
I don't know. It's right now.
Well, I think she's just grieving and she's
Yeah,
acting selfishly. Um,
yeah,
I don't know, yeah, I think if someone can like pull her out of her grief, she'll be able to see how like bad her actions are,
yeah.
and she'll want to undo it.
Yeah. I think that could be Vision and Monica Rambeau.
Yeah, yeah, I
And
definitely think um, they'll be the two that do it.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. Yeah. It's really interesting to see Wanda going this far to like just take away everyone's rights and then make this reality of a normal life in the suburbs.
mhm.
And yeah, and it was interesting like in this episode the kids are commenting how Vision and Wanda's marriage has been in the rocks and like
Yep.
and because Vision is questioning now the reality of it.
Hmm.
um so I guess let's kind of get into wrapping things up. I guess and quick reference of Disney. I don't know, you noticed in the theater they showed The Incredibles and Parent Trap.
I did see that. Yeah.
Yeah, that was actually cool.
Yeah.
um, I yeah, it'd be funny. Like they're just wrestling those. Like it's almost relating to the show. Like you got Wanda, Vision, and then you got the two kids. And it's funny. And
Yeah.
then Pedro could be like Frozone.
Right.
But yeah, it's interesting. So coming like so after Vision talked about talked to Agnes in the car, and then she of
Mhm.
course turns around and go to uh whatever she was going,
The town square. Yeah.
down square, of course. Thank you. And um and she
Should
um
we pause until the
oh
car
yeah,
alarm
hold on.
stops?
Okay, that's good. Or that's
Okay.
it. Sorry about that, folks. Friday afternoon. So like what? So Vision went to the Alice row, right? And
Yeah.
Wanda told the kids not to go there, right?
Mhm.
Okay. And so he goes there and he's trying to, get out of the royalty bubble. And it was very interesting to see that he was having a tough time getting out there, and he was getting destroyed by that. Uh,
Yeah.
like
Well, I think they mentioned, or no, I guess it's weird that he was being destroyed by it
like like
because people were able to enter it like pretty
mm,
easily.
yeah. Well, I like that's where Hayward comes in, right? Like they knew this happening. They had something in his body that could come back to life with the powers of Wanda, right? And then
Right.
because
The
in
Mind
this
Stone.
episode, yeah, like in this episode, they were tracking him and they knew where he was going.
Hmm.
And yeah, it was very interesting. But we'll probably get more of that in next episode to see if maybe that's Wanda keeping like a curse or something for Vision not to leave, the bubble,
Hmm. Yeah.
she has no control of the humans, but she's able to control them in some capacity, right? Um, because Vision is an android, it's,
Yeah.
and it was interesting, and so they were expecting Vision, and everyone from the facility, Hayward and his cronies were going outside, and then of course Darcy came out and see what was going on, right?
Hmm.
And then of course she gets captured, and then this is where it was very interesting to see Tommy, right? Uh, and it's funny we have a character named Tommy here. uh, and he has the psychic link to Vision, and in what a way he knows he's in trouble.
Hmm.
And then of course he tells Wanda, and then it was interesting, and this is where you're right about Will, about how far Wanda is becoming almost like the villain, how just taking away humans' rights, like the fact that she like pushes her brother like aggressively was so scary.
Yeah. Well, it was after he
Like,
made that comment about Vision dying twice,
oh yeah, that's true.
which Vision has died twice already.
I know.
So it's like kind of a
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah, not appropriate joke.
yeah. It makes sense that she would like
Okay, thank you.
lash out a bit.
I didn't hear properly what Christopher was saying, but I guess
Yeah.
that's true. But I mean, she's like building stress now. Like she know
Yeah.
she knows the SOAR agents are out there, and then Vision is starting to realize what's going on. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. I
I
think
said,
Wanda's starting to realize that she can't like hold the um hold everything together.
mhm. Yes, that's true. And this is where we see like her mental, like her psychologically kind of break down,
Hmm.
her mental state, and so we're gonna see that slowly, and I like how organically that is in this episode, so
Hmm.
in the show as well. So okay, so when she gets, when she has like that sense of Vision getting pretty much getting destroyed, and getting ill, or whatever you want to interpret it, what's going on with Vision,
Yeah.
she like expanded the hexa dorm, dome, you want to call it,
Hmm.
and of course, getting Vision to be in the Riley bubble again, but then sucking in everyone, Darcy, couple of the SOAR agents, and we see her completely changing the area into the reality of the sitcom, and
Right.
that was very interesting. And so, and by the way, I love how Darcy, quickly say, that the fudge word, and that was funny. And and then after that, you see like Monica and Jimmy, well, Monica driving very fast to get out of that rally bubble. It reminded me a lot of uh, what movie or show? Ah, man, it reminded me a lot, like, I don't know, one of the episodes of Justice League or something like that. And then seeing Hayward trying to get away from it, and her just stopping. Now that thing is now even bigger now
Yeah.
compared to that size, and so it was very interesting, and just seeing Scarlet Witch powers just being more expand and more powerful if we ever seen her in the previous MCU films.
Yeah.
It's crazy, and that's how we end the episode. Um, I don't know. Anything else we had to bring up that was in that final scene that was interesting for you, Will?
Uh, Monica mentioned like meeting someone who was going to help her. It's the same person as the previous episode.
Yes. Okay. Let's speculate that. So who is this person? What do you think, Will?
Oh, I have no idea. Do you
Okay.
remember like
Hmm.
what scientific field she said he was in the previous episode? I'm trying to remember and I can't.
I can't remember
Um,
who she say. Hold on. I can maybe get it. Just give me a minute. Um, I have like I'm trying to figure out who else can be another scientist. Maybe Eric Savick.
it could be, but it'd be weird for Monica to know him.
Oh yeah. That that's true. I like that's the thing about this show. I want to be careful because they did give us twisty reveals, and I like
Mhm.
that. But but they didn't. Um, okay, I'm trying to find the quote which she say, but I I have one that's like very out there,
Okay.
but because it's connected to Doctor Strange, I think
Okay.
she
Go
knows
for it.
that Doctor Strange. Like I could see
Okay.
her, Doctor Strange, right? And I mean, I I could see her getting um getting him be involved, and this is how Doctor Strange meets Scarlet Witch, and he will train her to be, like a partner and apprentice, right?
Hmm. Possible.
Yeah. Oh, I or Telos, the scroll.
Yeah.
What a
Uh, well, he's
oh
pretending to be Nick Fury right now, right?
yes, or his wife that we also saw in,
Okay.
because here's the thing, we this episode and the couple episode we know like Monica Rambeau knows Captain Marvel. She's still in contact with Carol, right?
Hmm.
If she knows Carol, because she knows the scrolls as well. She one of them was with her, in the first film, right? And of course, the mom, um, you know, probably told her about the scrolls and the adventure, like seeing the aunt returning, right? And so I feel like that could be another scientist that we'll see, because I don't remember if Teros is a scientist,
Yeah, I don't remember either.
Yeah.
It was an aerospace engineer.
Aerospace. Okay.
Who would
So who's I guess Captain Marvel's gonna be, because she's that basically.
she's a pilot.
Yeah.
Uh,
I
Aerospace engineer.
who, who is a space? I mean, I'm I'm trying to figure out who's that in this show.
I mean, do you think it's like a comic book character that we just haven't seen in the MCU yet?
Yes, I'm trying to want. It could be that. Oh, or maybe Wonder Man.
Ooh, yeah, but I thought Wonder Man was like an actor.
Um,
Trying to,
I think he is. Hold on. The Wonder Man. Yeah. It, so my theory is it's either Tattles or the related scrolls,
Mhm.
or Doctor Strange or Wonder Man. Okay. Uh, yeah. Okay. So his character name is Simon Williams, and okay, he's a son of a rich industrialist. Okay, I'm trying. Okay, he gained his powers to chemical radiation treatments.
According to Wikipedia, he's an electrical engineer.
Okay, so they could change that and just put
Yeah,
it
they
in,
could.
and so I think that's him, maybe.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I've definitely seen people floating Wonder Man as a possible appearance.
well, yeah, and if you folks want to know, he's the thing that gives Vision the consciousness, right? And if Vision dies again, they're gonna use him to get Vision back to life.
Possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder. So for Guardians of the Galaxy 2,
Mhm.
they had filmed scenes with Nathan Fillion as Wonder Man.
Oh yes, I remember that.
I wonder if they'd bring him back.
Hmm.
Because they deleted those scenes. So it's not like it's established that
Oh
Nathan
no.
Fillion is that character. But
Yeah. I mean, I'd be happy to see him in the
yeah, me too.
series.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
Nathan Fillion. But
I mean, he's great. I mean, I love his performance in Serenity, and then, and Castle. He's really great in that.
mhm, yeah,
Um, and Slater as well. He's great in that as well. Um, I can definitely see him coming into the series. And also because Wonder Man is connected to Vision as well, and that'd be like a
yeah,
cool comic book nod to what happened to Vision. Stuff
yeah.
like that. Okay, I think I like that theory. So it could be Wonder Man, Doctor Strange, or the Skrulls. That's my theory for next
Okay.
Friday. But yeah. Anything else we have to mention? Well, to bring up and just wrap things up. um,
I don't know.
okay, I think we're good. We covered pretty much everything that we had to
Went over
talk
all that.
about. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Man, 3 more episodes. Will that's
yeah.
crazy.
It is crazy.
Yes.
And the next 3 is supposed to be a little longer, right?
Yes. I didn't check how long was this episode was, but it was very lengthy. So they're
This
becoming.
one was. It wasn't as long as last week's, but it was longer than the first 4.
Yeah. No. I agree with you, Will. Yeah. Yeah. Last week was like 42 minutes. I checked.
Right. Yeah. This one
Yeah.
was 37.
Okay. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, but I think because we're now like getting into like we got 2 more episodes and February is almost done, and so like yeah, we're getting to the end of the series and like just like just hitting it right away.
yeah.
It's good. I like that. Yeah. And yeah, and of course the next show is Falcon and the Winter Soldier, uh, which is cool.
Yeah. It's coming up soon.
Yeah, yeah. I think March 7 or 9. I
I
Something
think the
like.
19th.
Okay, yes. It could be
Because
that.
WandaVision's set to finish on March 5th, and then I think they're taking a week off.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, until March 5th. Yeah. So yeah. All right. Well, thank you for coming in. This was a really great discussion for
Yeah, thank you for
WandaVision
having me.
episode 6. And well, everyone, thank you for listening to this podcast. Me and Will be back for episode 7 spoiler talk of WandaVision. Just hit and subscribe to the channel and have a good weekend. Bye.